Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into one of the most unbelievable, most controversial, and frankly, most insane sagas in modern sports history. A story that sent shockwaves across the globe and united billions of fans in a single, thunderous roar of outrage. I'm talking, of course, about PosterGate. Can you even imagine a world where Cristiano Ronaldo, arguably the most recognizable athlete on the planet, a living legend whose face adorns billboards from Lisbon to Tokyo, just vanishes, poof, gone, erased from official marketing materials for a major global event, as if his unparalleled career and monumental impact simply never happened? Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. And the fallout, my friends, was nothing short of apocalyptic. This wasn't just some minor oversight or a forgotten social media post. Oh no, this was a deliberate, calculated move by a massive organization that fundamentally misunderstood the very fabric of modern fandom, igniting a firestorm that spread faster than a Ronaldo hat trick. We're going to unpack every single detail of this mind-boggling incident, from the initial, quiet reveal to the global explosion of anger, the desperate corporate scramble, and the profound lessons learned about the unbreakable bond between fans and their heroes. Get ready, because this is PosterGate, and it's a story you absolutely need to hear. First, let's set the stage and understand why the removal of Cristiano Ronaldo from anything official is such an earth-shattering event. This isn't just about a talented footballer. This is about an icon, a phenomenon, a man who has transcended the sport itself to become a cultural touchstone. His journey from a humble background in Madeira to the pinnacle of global stardom is a narrative of relentless dedication, unparalleled ambition, and a sheer will to win that has inspired millions, if not billions, across generations. He represents the ultimate underdog story combined with sustained excellence, a potent mix that resonates deeply with people from all walks of life. Ronaldo's brand extends far beyond the pitch. He's a fashion icon, a fitness guru, a business magnate, and a philanthropic figure, all wrapped into one meticulously crafted package. His social media presence alone dwarfs entire countries, with hundreds of millions of followers hanging on his every post, creating a direct, unfiltered line of communication with his massive fan base. This isn't just a player, he's a movement, a global phenomenon that has defined an era of football, setting records that many thought were simply unreachable and consistently pushing the boundaries of what's possible in professional sports. So, when the news broke, or rather, when fans discovered the unthinkable, it felt like a personal affront to millions of people who had invested their time, their passion, and their emotional energy into following his incredible journey. The incident itself, which we've now dubbed PosterGate, centered around the highly anticipated launch of the official promotional campaign for the next major global football tournament. Let's call it the United World Cup 2026. This was meant to be the biggest marketing push in football history, uniting nations and showcasing the sport's brightest stars. The initial rollout of the campaign materials was subtle, almost insidious in its quiet unveiling, with new posters appearing in major cities, digital banners gracing websites, and promotional videos hitting social media. At first, people just thought they were seeing new faces, a fresh look for the tournament, which isn't entirely unusual for a major campaign refresh. But then, a subtle unease began to creep in, a nagging feeling that something was profoundly missing, like a familiar melody with a crucial note deliberately omitted. Fans, with their eagle eyes and encyclopedic knowledge of everything football, started noticing a pattern. Every single official piece of marketing material, from the smallest website banner to the largest stadium billboard, conspicuously lacked one crucial element. Cristiano Ronaldo was nowhere to be seen. Completely absent from the narrative. A ghost in the machine of the biggest football event on the planet. The initial reaction wasn't immediate outrage. It was disbelief. A collective scratching of heads. Is this a mistake? People wondered. Surely he'll be in the next wave of ads. Right? But as more and more materials surfaced, the stark reality began to sink in, chilling fans to their core. There was no mistake. This was intentional. A deliberate excision of the sport's most prominent figure from its most prominent stage. The silence was deafening, the absence glaring, and the implications, once fully understood, were absolutely infuriating. And that, my friends, is when the spark truly ignited, transforming that quiet unease into an inferno of global indignation. Social media, the ultimate amplifier of collective sentiment, became the battleground for PosterGate. Within hours, the hashtags started trending. Hashtag Where is Ronaldo? Hashtag Boycott United World Cup. Hashtag Ronaldo deserves better. And hash CR7 not forgotten. These weren't just isolated tweets. They were a tsunami of anger, frustration, and a profound sense of betrayal. Fans from every corner of the world, speaking countless languages, united under these banners, demanding answers and expressing their utter disgust. The internet was flooded with viral content. From expertly crafted memes highlighting Ronaldo's absence in comical yet poignant ways, to passionate fan edits showcasing his incredible legacy, juxtaposed with the sterile, Ronaldo-less promotional materials. Influencers, sports journalists, and even other athletes started weighing in, adding fuel to the fire and giving the movement even greater momentum. The speed and scale of this outrage were unprecedented, demonstrating the raw, untamed power of a united fanbase when they feel their idol, and by extension, their own passion, has been disrespected. It was a digital uprising, a testament to the fact that in the age of social media, you simply cannot erase an icon without facing severe, immediate consequences. Now, the burning question that everyone was asking, and still asks to this day, is, what on earth were they thinking? How could a massive, multi-billion-dollar organization, with presumably legions of marketing experts and PR strategists, make such a catastrophic blunder? The theories, both whispered and shouted, were plentiful and ranged from the plausible to the utterly absurd. Some suggested it was a cynical attempt to usher in a new generation of stars, a misguided belief that by removing the old guard, they could force fans to embrace the future. This theory, while perhaps having a kernel of truth in corporate strategy, completely overlooked the emotional connection fans have with their heroes, viewing them as interchangeable assets rather than living legends. Another popular theory, which gained traction due to its modern relevance, was that the marketing team had heavily relied on AI-generated imagery and campaign concepts. The idea was that perhaps the AI, programmed to look for fresh faces or to avoid controversy in some bizarre algorithm, simply omitted Ronaldo, or worse, replaced him with generic, inoffensive figures. While this sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, it highlights the growing disconnect between human emotion and algorithmic decision-making. A frightening prospect if true. Other whispers suggested a breakdown in sponsorship negotiations, a dispute over image rights, or even a deliberate, if ill-advised, attempt to generate controversy and break the internet through shock value. Whatever the internal reasoning, it was clear there was a profound disconnect between the corporate boardrooms and the passionate, fiercely loyal football community. This brings us to the very heart of the matter. The fan psyche. Why did Ronaldo's removal sting so deeply? It's because for millions, Ronaldo isn't just a player. He's a symbol, an embodiment of perseverance, relentless excellence, and unwavering ambition. He represents the idea that with enough hard work and dedication, you can achieve anything, no matter where you come from. Fans don't just admire his skills. They connect with his journey, his struggles, his triumphs, and his unapologetic pursuit of greatness. They've invested years, sometimes decades, of emotional energy into following his career, celebrating his victories, and commiserating in his defeats. To suddenly see him erased from the official narrative felt like a profound betrayal. A slap in the face to every fan who had ever cheered his name, bought his jersey, or stayed up late to watch him play. It wasn't just about a poster. It was about respect. About acknowledging the indelible mark he has left on the sport and on their lives. The collective identity formed around supporting an idol like Ronaldo is incredibly powerful, creating a sense of community and shared purpose among fans worldwide. When that idol is disrespected, it feels like an attack on the entire community, igniting a fierce, protective instinct that organizations often fail to anticipate or understand. The economic fallout from PosterGate was, predictably, catastrophic for the organization. The initial wave of outrage quickly translated into tangible financial losses, proving that fan sentiment has a direct and immediate impact on the bottom line. Pre-orders for the United World Cup 2026 official game plummeted, with countless fans canceling their purchases in protest, declaring they wouldn't support a product that disrespected their hero. Merchandise sales for the tournament, which typically soar in the lead up to such a major event, stagnated or even declined as fans opted to spend their money elsewhere. Sponsors, who had invested millions into aligning their brands with the tournament, began to express serious concerns, with some even threatening to pull out if the situation wasn't rectified. The negative PR was relentless, dominating news cycles and tarnishing the organization's carefully cultivated image. Their stock, if publicly traded, would have undoubtedly taken a significant hit, reflecting investor anxiety over the massive reputational damage, the cost of damage control, the inevitable rebranding, and the lost revenue from boycotts amounted to billions. A stark reminder that underestimating the power of fan loyalty is a financial gamble no corporation can afford to lose. It was a masterclass in how not to manage a global brand, demonstrating that a loyal fan base is an asset far more valuable than any marketing budget. The media firestorm that erupted was truly something to behold, transforming PosterGate from a niche sports controversy into a global talking point. Sports pundits on every major network dedicated hours of airtime to dissecting the incident, with many vehemently defending Ronaldo and lambasting the organization's short-sightedness. Mainstream news channels, recognizing the widespread public interest, picked up the story, featuring segments on fan outrage and the economic implications. Celebrities, musicians, and even politicians weighed in, adding their voices to the chorus of disapproval, further amplifying the message. Former teammates and football legends, many of whom had played alongside or against Ronaldo, were quick to express their solidarity, sharing their own experiences of his impact and questioning the wisdom of his erasure. The debate wasn't just about whether it was disrespectful. It delved into the very nature of legacy, the importance of honoring icons, and the evolving relationship between sports organizations and their global audience. It became a global conversation dominating headlines. A testament to Ronaldo's universal appeal and the public's innate sense of fairness and justice. Everyone, it seemed, had an opinion, and almost all of them were on Ronaldo's side. As the days turned into weeks, the backlash mounted, becoming an undeniable force that the organization could no longer ignore. Online petitions, demanding Ronaldo's reinstatement in the marketing campaign, garnered millions of signatures, demonstrating the collective will of the global fan base. Organized fan groups took their protests offline, with banners appearing at stadiums during matches, chanting his name, and holding signs that read, "Bring back CR7." These weren't just isolated incidents. They were coordinated, persistent demonstrations of discontent that made it impossible for the organization to simply weather the storm. The pressure was immense, coming from all angles: financial stakeholders, media critics, and most importantly, the very people who fuel the sport's existence, the fans. The silence from the organization, initially perceived as defiance, eventually began to crack under the weight of this overwhelming pressure. It became clear that their initial strategy, whatever it might have been, had failed spectacularly. They had misjudged the depth of feeling, underestimated the power of a united fan base, and were now facing a full-blown crisis that threatened to derail their entire flagship event. The boycott wasn't just a threat,